Hey guys, welcome to this Train Sim TV video. This is Mark. Today we're going to be taking a look at the North Somerset 2021 route from the guys over there at Golden Age Developments. And we're going to take a trip with 5199, this large prairie, from here at Radstock up to Froome Market. This route is obviously a fictional preserved railway version of the original North Somerset Railway, but already you can see it looks much more authentic to what I would like it to be and expect it to be, rather than reimagine it as a working sort of, network rail route. So looking forward to this. It's been created by Adam Shalders, who's been working on this one for the guys over there at Golden Age. And this is Radstock Station, so we've got plenty going on down here. You've got the turntable that you can use if you want. And I'll go through all the details of the route as we go through the video. But we're going to get ready to set off from here at Radstock and work our way up the line towards Froome, which is on the screen there. The game sound is turned down a bit because basically if I have it turned up, this thing will deafen you and drown me out completely, which is not a bad thing to be honest, but ideally when I'm trying to tell you about the route, it's not much use me being not able to be heard. So just setting the route up here, so we're going right through. This is just a free roam scenario that I've made. There is some quick drives with the route, but obviously I didn't want to mess about trying to work out which things I could use in quick drive and whatnot, so this scenario is using just a free roam that I've created quite easily and quickly. So this is what I'm trying to remember how to drive steam loco. So we'll depart from Radstock already. It's looking good. Loving the little signal gantry that you can see in front of me, and a lot of detail going on cable trunking and stuff. And I like the idea of having colour lights as well, because I know obviously some preserved railways do have that sort of setup and the two aspects as well as you would expect them to be. So we've got 6 coaches behind us, 6 Mark 1s. Should be an interesting climb up the valley, I'm sure. I will turn the game sound up a little bit so you can hear it a bit better. So there's a lot of information in the manual which I'll go through as we climb up the valley here. It's quite a good climb as well. If you like your steam locos and you like to have them challenging you when you're driving it, it's a good one for that. And to be honest, if you own the straight off North Somerset Railway, it's obviously a clone, so it won't replace it or anything. I would just recommend downloading this, to be honest. It's just so much better and so much more enjoyable. And the North Somerset wasn't necessarily a bad route, but this just has it in the spirit that I think it should be, which is what I'm looking for. I love the idea with the core lights. As I said, it's got a painting and Dartmouth feel to it with that sort of thing, which is cool. Just easing this train out of here. So maximum concentration as well as trying to drive. It always ends well, this, really, whilst trying to do a video. I'm going to get a bit more power on because we're still climbing up. Unfortunately, I can't really have the F3 hood on whilst having the F5 on, so it's one or the other. So yeah, a bit of background information. Obviously, because it's a fictional take on a route that's not existing in real life, this line is shut in real life. I think the track's still there, but in reality it's basically dumped and been that way for many years. So it says in the manual, following the Beach Axe, the last passenger train that ran on the Bristol and North Somerset Railway was the 31st of October 1959. The railway line remained open to freight, particularly coal trains from Froome to Radstock. Final revenue earning coal train on the line was on 16th of November 1973. The line from Froome to Watler Quarry operated for many years after, with trains operated by Hanson, ARC and later Medic Rail. Now, whilst I'm reading this, obviously remember this is in a fictional standpoint. The freights, I think, did carry on to actually run into Radstock after the end of steam. I'm not sure, but I think they did. So obviously remember that as I go through reading through this, we're talking about it from a fictional point of view. So it's a really cool little idea that he's gone with here, and following the story is quite interesting. So After years of campaigning and raising funds, Mells Road Station was reopened as a heritage centre with short running line and steam shed in 1995. The centre had one operational steam locomotive at the time, due to be an ex-London transport pioneer at number 7739, with various others stored and undergoing restoration from scrap condition. Later in 1999, the first excursion to Flowers Farm Station opened. Extension to Flowers Farm Station opened. The line was meant to run to a site just outside the new Happsford Junction Station, but lacked funding. Railway raised funds utilising their Pannier and two British Railway Mark 1s. In 2001, the line continued to Kilmersdon, which became the railway's northern terminus. The operating fleet grew larger, with various diesels appearing on site and more steam locomotive finishing restoration. So what the idea there is obviously to make it feel like many preserved railways sort of start out with humble beginnings and stuff, and one loco and that sort of thing. You know, give it a bit of a backstory, a bit of a role-playing sort of thing going on. Which I've been involved with, obviously, when we used to be involved with the Churn Valley role-playing stuff for full productions. It's sort of like a similar thing, and it's really cool to do that. I think it's really good. I love the imagination behind it. Right down my alley with that sort of thing. We're climbing quite nicely, just letting the loco find its own way, to be honest, not pushing it, just taking it easy. So we're on to the semaphore signals now. Lovely seeing it work and everything going on. It's very nice. I remember the original one had like cycle paths and stuff, so it's nice to see all that's gone and it's, my opinion, more believable. And I love the signal cables that the guys at Golden Age have done. First time I've actually downloaded it that's got them in. So yeah, the game sound probably is really quiet, guys, because again, with Steam locos, talking on videos, it really does not work well a lot of the time. Like, you'll probably be able to hear me barely at all now, and the Steam loco will be overshadowing it, so yeah, it's trying to find that balance is not easy. Well, I like this. Yeah, you can certainly see a lot of thought's gone into it, you know, with a little gateway for access, and that view there, it's really nicely done. And again, talking about these signal cables, I'll have a look at them in a second when we actually stop at the station. Probably be a smart thing to do to actually get into the station before I start jumping on. Interesting how it's got the car stop markers. Just open the regulator slightly to get us into the station. I guess 7 coaches is probably the maximum intended amount. I've got 6 on here. Just going to pull up to the marker. Obviously we're still on this gradient, so it's quite a tricky one, I imagine, to get away from here, so we'll see what it's like. I'm going to open my cylinder cocks before I set off, because I always foul that up, and I'm also going to get some water as well. I absolutely hate working out how the injectors work on these Victory Works kettles, I really do. Right, so this station is Kilmersdon. So you got a lovely little goods shed on the inside here. So we've got the cranes inside, that's beast. I like that. I can't honestly remember how the original looked, but I don't recall it looking anything like this. It's just nice how things have been placed, like this van here and stuff like that. Let's have a look at those signal wires, the cables, and look at the point rodding as well. So you got the point rodding, you got the signal wires. So if you're doing your own freeway routes, these assets are available separately to download from the Golden Age Development's website. So do consider doing that if you haven't already. If you're doing your own freeway routes, they are amazing little bits of kit to use. But yeah, you got all the signal cables, you've got the little reveals, look at that. That's beast. I love it. It's brilliant. It's these sorts of details that I really, really like in TS when people go to this length. Now, obviously, ideally, I guess you would only have one cable for the single signal, but I'm not getting fussed up about that. It just looks good, really good. And it's, as a feature, I think it's brilliant to have that sort of thing, because it's so key to actually having, when you've got semaphore view, it's so key to have. Because how the hell else do you pull semaphores off? I love this overgrown look here that has gone with the disused platform as well. Oh, turn the water off before I make a balls up of that. Everything else is pretty much ready. Chuck a few rounds of coal. I have no idea what the ideal fire mass is on this thing, to be honest, but we'll get by, I'm sure. We've got the 8 car stop markers. I guess that's the maximum intended amount. But I love the attention to detail again with the stuff like these overhead gauging things, and yeah, it's just very nicely capturing the atmosphere. We'll take a look at this as it leaves from just here. I think it's a good little spot to stand in. I'll turn the game sound up a bit whilst we depart, and I'll turn it back down again. After everything else, to take the brakes off. Won't get far away long. Open the regulator a bit as well so we don't roll backwards. We're also on this gradient. Very challenging drive, that's for sure. Just joining back onto the main line here. I'll turn the game sound down a little bit again so it's not deafening when we get the back in the cab with obviously the safety valves going off. Just trying to blow the fire out the chimney. Fireman's becoming tired. He's not doing no, is he? Oh, he is. Look at the fire mass. Oops. Bad mark. Well, that's... Sorry, fireman. Probably dead. Right, I'm not right back. Just going to let the loco find its own way again now. We're on the climb and everything, we're all good. Just going to turn the game down a little bit more. So yeah, continuing on in the manual. So July 2003, in a large industrial accident saw the forced closure of Botley Quarry. Operations were terminated. The quarry became derelict shortly after, and the track and yard area was purchased in a partnership between the North Somerset Railway and the new Mendip Heritage Rail Services. This allowed for new plans to emerge to reconnect Kilmersdon and Mells Road to Frome. The line extended south to Happsford Junction in 2004 and onto Froome Market in 2005. Water Quarry is now onto the Heritage Rail Services headquarters and motive power depot. Multiple mainline steam and diesel steam and diesel locomotives are based here and operate mainline rail tours across country. The land at Vadstock, where the old wagon works was located, was earmarked to be the location of a new housing estate. It wasn't until 2008 that the council agreed a railway line would boost Vadstock's local economy with tourism. With that, the extension was greenlit. April 2009, the first train ran from Kilmanston to Vadstock, and the railway became what we now know it as the 8-mile North Somerset Railway. Following the reopening of the Froome section, Kilmanston Platform 2 was closed to passenger traffic as another passing pace was not required at this point on the line. It then goes on to give you some information about the various stations on the route. There's Kilmanston, which we stopped at already, Vadstock where we started. We're now climbing up to Mells Road, which is the heart of the North Somerset Railway. You've got Flowers Farm, the Holt, and Happsford Junction. And then the end of the line at Froome Market. So we've got a distance signal that's on here. Always got to remember when you're doing a quick drive that you need to actually check on your points and stuff. Otherwise that could have ended in chaos. I love the idea with the sort of tilted over telegraph posts and stuff. Overall, so far, I'm really enjoying this. It's a lovely little run. So we got the signal into the station. Just going to shut the regulator slightly so I can get the train eased off. Again, we're still climbing here, so it's you can actually see, I think, the summit right in front of us. I love that idea. With the telegraph post lent against the cutting. So this is Mells Road station we're just pulling into. We'll have a little look around here when we get finally down to a stop. There we go. So let's have a little look around here. Obviously it said this is the heart of the railway. Got a little signal box with Mells Road on it. Better than Bournemouth, is that? You got the little maintenance shed. I think this, I'm not sure if this one was there on the original North Somerset. I've got a feeling it might have been. But yeah, I love the idea. Very quaint little sort of railway. It reminds me of the East Somerset, actually, to be honest. I just think this sort of detailing is awesome. Where you got gone to the time of getting Doggo with his egg. Look, he's a good lad, isn't he? He's an eggy boy. But yeah, really nice work all round. Reminds me a little bit of Crocombe, actually. That the little climb up there. But yeah, if you showed this to somebody, the way I look at this is if you showed this to somebody that didn't know much about railways and you said this is a preserved railway in Somerset, nobody would not believe you. It's captured the feel of it, you know, really well. Trying to take the hood off, take a screenshot. Right, let's get going again. Make sure the cylinder cock's on, which it is, so I don't blow the cylinders up. So we're on level track now. We're about halfway along the line. We're at Mells Road, so we've got the downhill section essentially to go. So in real life, we'll go into this as we go along, but in real life some of this obviously is still open. That's the bit we'll go along in a little bit. Nearer towards Frome. Same thing. That'll upset people that don't like it when I mispronounce words. Sorry guys. Did I whistle when I left there first? I don't know if I did or not. Maybe, as Tom would say. Again, I just love the attention with stuff like that, with the cables going under there and stuff. It's nice. So I get a little bit of a quiet sort of trip at the back, shall we? Turn the game sound up so it's nice and audible. So yeah, the guys at Golden Age Developments as well, they're a pretty new developer when it comes to train sim, in terms of the people involved aren't necessarily, but the actual collective is pretty new. So it's great to see them actually bringing this route out, and I've been keeping, you know, an eye on watching some of the progress on some of the other routes that's coming out. I know the Purbeck line, which is the Swanage line, as it was in Steam days, and particularly the West of England route looks just sensational. So I'm really excited to see what these guys can produce. It's going to be good for those of us like me that love Steam routes, Steam era stuff as well. So very much excited to see that sort of thing going on. And personally for me, the southwest and the west of England is an area that I love. I'd just love to see it go towards Cornwall one day, but west of England will definitely do for me. It's looking good, especially with Bossman games as locos and stuff that's a bit available. Means it's all the more enjoyable. So we're just tootling along here in the back window. Getting real West Somerset vibes at the minute, but less boring than the West Somerset, because that's a pretty boring line in real life. This is fun with the gradients and everything. We're on a little bit of a flatter section now. Enjoyed that climb up there, that was fun. It's just much quieter to stand at the back of the train rather than at the front, so let's just stay back here. Because that thing up front is absolutely deafening. I've got way too much fire in there, and I threw half a coal mine into boilers, into firebox, so you know it's going to be blowing off until it could go out to Paddington. This, to be honest, turn the dampers off, can't I? Because I'm going downhill. Some little sidings going up here. This is conduits. What? Conduit Hill. So these are little P-way sidings, obviously. Here. And again, some nice looking detail in there, sleepers and stuff. Signs look dropped on the floor there. Well, not dropped on the floor, but left there. And just generally, you know, really nice attention once again. I'm going to have to do something with this fire. It's getting them out of my tits. We'll get back in back because it's going to blow off again. It'll make a great racket. So we've just got regulator cracked open very slightly at the minute, just to keep the train sort of rolling at a decent speed. So as you can see, we're coming up to the next station, which is Flowers Farmhole. Now, this line in real life, obviously as I said, it was closed quite a long time ago. Now the bit in real life that remains is this bit from Frome. There's a mainline connection just there. In real life this connects into just north of Frome station. And then you can obviously, in the bit that's still open is this section down to Watley Quarry. So this is all still here, down to Watley Quarry. The bit that's obviously closed is this section through to Radstock, and this was obviously the Somerset and Dorset went into Radstock from Bath, and this was the Great Western. Oh, I was speeding here. This obviously was the Great Western Railway's line into Radstock. Just the way that trying to keep the train under control and turn the sound down all at once, and it's really not going well. Train is not under control at the moment. Oh Christ, nobody's requested to stop here today, by the way. Because there's no way I'm stopping this, let's be honest. This is a challenging one to restart from as well, 1 in 48 uphill. So if you want a challenging restart, then this is you want to go for. Obviously we're downhill at the minute, so it don't really matter. Apparently we are going to be stopping the way I'm going. So we're already getting to the distance for the next stop. And that's where the junction is. So we're coming up towards the junction at the minute. There's a passing loop at Happsford there, and then we want to go into Happsford Junction Station. So that's a cool little layout there. I love the camping coaches and stuff, that's nice. Oh, I'm assuming the camping coaches. We're getting out of control, we're going to try and bring some braking back in. I always knew this would be a challenging drive. The main reason I didn't come the other way is because I didn't want to keep an eye on the fire all the way up to while doing the video. I'll do the other return leg. I'll probably do in a Sunday drive video like we did for Bodmin. Just so I can concentrate fully on driving. So yeah, I mean, as I was saying, the Radstock line was the Great Western Railway's, the Froome to Radstock line was the Great Western Railway's way of reaching through Radstock. Obviously the Somerset and Dorset went through the town as well. So it was quite a busy railway town, and these days obviously it's got nothing, which seems a bit stupid. And I guess that's sort of what the North Somerset route in TS was trying to aim into recreate, was like how it probably should be, to be honest. Because anyone that knows Radstock will know it's a pretty busy place. So this is where we come to the junction, Happsford Junction. This is the bit on the left in real life, obviously, which is still open. In the game, it's where eventually you get down towards where the mainline fleet for the Mendic Heritage Rail services are based in the Golden Age fictional world. There should be a name for this, really. They're very dark, Loco. Oh. The line's closed. What's all that about? Oh, I ain't going to see it. Well, I'll explain why it's closed. So that's obviously where the Waller Quarry line would be down there. So we're coming into Happsford Junction Station. But it's a strange little one. It's got a... it's like an island platform. It reminds me a little bit of Totnes Little Himpston, actually. Once again, I find myself out of control. Because why not? Stop, please. Stop, please. Please stop. Thank you. Hope nobody's buying a brew in the buffet when that went off. So this is Happsford Junction. Nice little station again. Some wooden walking boards and stuff. All the signalling wires, all the details that are they're consistently placed in the route. So we're on the 1 in 60 downhill again here as well, so this will be an easy one to depart from. I'm just going to let the brakes off and let it roll. I love how I've got more fire in the Loco now than when I was actually going up the hill. Shows how well I obviously planned that out. Of course, being a victory works, look, I have to have the cylinder cocks open regardless of what I'm doing. So on the last little stretch now down to Froome Market, which is the last station on this route. Been a really enjoyable little drive this. I've enjoyed it a lot, and it's definitely one I'll be coming back to. It's a shame we don't still do the old multiplayer galas like we did back in a number of years ago, because this would be a really fun one for it. I mean, Cam Burgess did actually do like a similar sort of thing to this. Clearly, you know, he didn't put as much time as Adam's put into this one, but it's a fun line to do it on. I can see the idea. And if you check out the manual that comes with the route, it does give you details of a Discord where you can join to take part in that sort of thing, I believe. And there's also a faux timetable in the manual as well, like, so you can obviously you can do what you want, but that's to give you some inspiration for timings and stuff. If you don't take your train sim too seriously and you just want to have fun, then I highly recommend this one to you. So it's a bit of a rolling gradient. I've just basically killed all my momentum there. And still the engine's blowing off. I can't even blow the fire out of the chimney. So we are nearly coming down to Fruit Market. We're about 3/4 of a mile. We're going to get a distance signal in a moment, which I'm going to get ready for eventually. Oh, I'm slightly panicking, just bear with. Yeah, now I've gone way too slow. Gives us a chance to just play with the regulator and talk amongst ourselves for a bit. It's the first time I've seen the VP version 3 grass in action on a route, actually. I like the new shape and stuff of it, it looks good. So obviously if you were doing this as a free home for yourself, you could fill all the sidings up with locos and stock and everything. You can have a lot of fun with stuff like this. Just like you can with another preserved railway route on TS. I think if I was going to pick a favourite GWR one, preserved railway wise, this might well be my favourite, to be honest. Got good challenging gradients in both directions. It's a nice feel to it. So obviously this one, there's the Bodmin and Wenford Railway. You got Golden Goldsmith's version of the Pin and Dartmouth, which is really good as well. Enjoyed running that. I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing? Playing with that for some reason. May need to tab a signal here by the looks. Maybe. What happens if I slow down? We'll just go through this and I'm guessing it's a signal issue. Nice. I love the water tower and stuff, that's good. Try and frame this a bit better. I love the water tower's dripping water. I've never seen that before. Why have I never seen that before? Who knows? I've never actually seen that before. It's creative. That's mega creative. I love that. Mint idea. Just going to bring the train to a stop and we'll have a little look around. So, obviously, if this was a real life route, it'd carry on around to Frome just down there, and you'd be there in no time at all. It's right on the edge of town. But I really must say I've enjoyed that little run up there. It's been a good little half-hour trip up. These assets are from Malmesbury, I think. I've never actually seen them really used much, but they fit right in with what they're trying to capture, so it's good. So yeah, don't forget guys, you can grab this route from the Golden Age Developments website. It's been created by Adam Shalders. Please do go out and check it out. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this drive up. I'll feature it again in a Sunday drive video at some point, I'm sure, for fun on there. But very much enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. So check those out. The links and everything's in the description if you want to know where to get it from. Thanks so much for watching guys. Please do consider hitting subscribe and hitting like, and hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget you can check Tom out on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/trainsim_TV. And thanks as always for watching guys. See you later. Goodbye.